Welcome to my prediction video for the fight coming up this weekend in the women's strawweight division in the UFC between Rose Namajunas versus Ribas. Obviously, two very good fighters looking to get back up. Well, Namajunas is trying to get back up to the top of that division, fighting for titles, and Ribas is coming up, obviously looking to get up to them contender spots, really, and by beating a former champion, that will really get her up there. So it's a good fight. It's a tough fight, I think, between the two. Obviously a 5-rounder as it's a main event. Ribas obviously has the reach advantage as well. Rose having the 5-round experience, a lot more 5-round experience compared to Ribas, so I think that helps with it being a 5-round fight. Obviously Rose coming into this fight lost last fight out in a 3-rounder, and I actually think she would have done better if that was a 5-rounder, a lot better. I think she's so used to fighting that 5-round style, and her style sort of comes into that 5-round style as well, where she'll try and win it over 3. You've really got to put the performance in straight off the bat. If you lose round 1, you've got to be winning for the rest of the fight. So I think it helps her. I think her stand-up is going to be better. I don't see how Ribas actually gets this done unless, the only thing with Rose I can think of that could cause it is her just lack of, from recent fights, lack of going for it. If she's losing 2 or 3 rounds, she's not going for it. And so she could easily lose for not going for the finish or going for to take it to them to win the rounds that she needs to. And that's my big concern in this fight, is that there's been a tendency to just come off that pedal and just stay off the pedal and not really have that indication of, look, you're losing, you got to go for it now. It doesn't matter about staying with my game plan. When my game plan's losing me 3 rounds, I'm just going to stick with the game plan for the 4 and 5 and lose the fight. It's a bit of a problem where you just need to, look, the game plan's the game plan, but you need to up the intensity and do something slightly different, because actually with your current game plan you came into the fight with, the opponent's winning. Yeah, and that's the total thing of, she thinks that something's just going to change for her. And these fighters, they're not slouches. They're up for a fight. They're ready for 5 rounds. They're just not going to fall off a cliff by themselves. You've got to cause that. You've got to make that happen in the fight, and that's the only thing I can think of. Rose has also been slightly more active as well. Ribas obviously had 1 fight in 2023. Had no fights in 22, 1 fight in 21, and 1 fight in 2020. So, over 4 years, she's had 3 fights. It's a bit of a problem in that, whereas Rose has been slightly more active, but also the fights have just been much bigger, much higher level of opponent, and over mostly that 5-round fight. So I think that helps Rose being longer in the more recent experience in that cage, in the 5 rounds as well, and I think that sort of helps really dictate the pace of that 5-round fight. But again, if Rose doesn't step on it, if she is losing round 1 or 2, it could be very much a problem. And if it happens this fight, I don't see how she starts getting back to that top of that division. Something needs to change in this fight to make sure Rose is actually just going back up to the top of that division, by changing the sort of mindset that she's had the last few fights, where she's not really pushing it, even though she's losing rounds. When she lost her title, if she pushed it, could she have done better? Probably, but it came out like, I tried my best and that, and it was sort of like, you have to put it on her. That's all you have to do. You have to just put it on her and see what happened. And I don't know whether it's a scared to get knocked out or to get finished, or is it just tiredness? I don't believe it's that. So what is it? It just seems to have just switched. Whereas, the person who knocked out Zhang is two fight wins, and obviously one was a knockout TKO, so it's hard to see that same person doing that thing. But to be honest, if Rose wins this fight and maybe one more, she's up for a title fight, because she is the one person who is very strong in that division, and people actually want to see fight for the title again. So I don't see it, if she loses this fight, I don't see how she comes back from it, to be honest, because it's not, the mindset won't be there if she loses this fight. If she gets KO'd, that's a different story, but if she goes to a decision, 5 rounds, doesn't put it on her, and it becomes well, come on, why didn't you, 4th, 5th round, get on it. You've lost 3 rounds, so come on. And it's sort of you just need to speed up that pace. Even, look, I'd love to see Rose just come out in round 1, not knock out even, just get enough out there to go, round 1's definitely mine. Just get a significant strikes higher and just keep on the feet and things, and you've done it, well done. That's round 1, you're already up. That's what I would like to see from Rose, to be able to go back to that championship level, because guess what? Every round counts in that championship level. You can't be losing 2 rounds before you put the gas on. You've got to start from the start and just really think about, okay, I need to win from the start of it. And I don't need to search for the knockout, but at least, look, if I'm beating this person, put it on them. Try to get that 10-8. It's that sort of thing where, just, if your game plan's not working, switch up and put it on them. And that is the real hard point that we've got now, is that this current Rose is so massively different to that champion Rose. And if how long, I think she wins this fight, to be honest. I think she does do something here and does win, but if she doesn't, how long does she stay in this? Because she's not going to go back to that championship level. And, these are the type of fights you need to be winning against these up-and-coming contenders to get back up there. So that's my thought. I think Rose actually wins this TKO KO, but there's a real big asterisk with, will we ever see her at that championship level again? And this fight will really show it, I think. I think it's a good opponent, high enough level to test yourself at least, and to go, look, can you really do it anymore? And have you got the ability and mindset to do so? And I hope she has. Some great fights she's performed, and big star. A lot of people know her name outside and inside UFC, and I think that just helps the UFC make strong events, having Rose at that top of that division. But please let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.